Hey there, welcome to the video. Have you ever wanted to move part of an image without affecting everything else? Like adjusting an arm, fixing posture, or slightly repositioning objects, but also keeping it looking natural? In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Puppet Warp tool. It's a pretty cool tool that lets you bend and reshape parts of an image using pins. It's easier than you think, so let's get into it. Before we start, let's quickly go over what Puppet Warp actually does. It lets you add anchor points called pins and then move parts of your image around those pins. Think of it like placing joints on a puppet and then repositioning them. The first thing we want to do is make two copies of the background layer. So just select the layer and then press Ctrl or Command J twice. Let's name the top layer Subject. This will be the layer where we select the subject and remove the background. On the second layer, we will remove the subject and it will just be the background. So let's name this one Background with no subject. Now let's select the subject layer and pick a selection tool from the tool palette so we can remove the background. I'm using the quick selection tool, but you can use any of these three tools to do this. Then click Select Subject in the top menu bar. Since everyone's image will be a little bit different, make any changes you need in order to get a good selection, and then click the Mask button in the Layers palette. After that, we need to remove the subject from the Background No Subject layer. So let's turn the subject layer off, and then select the Background No Subject layer. Then we want to click Ctrl or Command and click on the layer mask of the subject. This will create a selection for us to start with. Next thing we want to do is expand this selection. To do this, go up to the main menu bar to Select, then down to Modify and Expand. We want to expand this selection to give the subject some extra space so nothing in the selection is missing or cut off. For me, 50 pixels is enough, but depending on the size of your image and what your image is, you may need more or less. Now go to your contextual taskbar. If it's not open, you can control click or right click anywhere on the canvas, and this will say show contextual taskbar. My bar is already here, that's why mine says hide. Then click remove. Once this is done, it creates a separate layer. All we need to do is go up into the little menu bar in the layers palette, click the drop down, and then just select merge down. And that will merge those two layers into one flat background layer. Once all of that is done, you can turn the subject layer back on, and then we want to convert that to a smart object. So you can control click or right click on the layer and go down to convert to smart object. Now that everything is prepared, we're ready to add Puppet Warp. So just go up to the menu to edit, down to Puppet Warp. Once you do that, you may or may not see a mesh over your image. There's a show mesh box here. You can click that so you can see it. We're not really going to use the mesh except for increasing the size of the affected area. In the toolbar, you'll see a drop down for density. This is where you add or remove points for the mesh. What we want to do is adjust expansion. This will expand the mesh out past the edges of your subject layer, making sure that everything is accounted for when things start moving. So just go to the expansion drop down, click it, and you can move the slider and you'll see it expand around your image. Once that's done, you can uncheck Show Mesh since we're mainly going to be using pins. To add pins to your subject, just click. Each pin acts like a fixed point. Basically, pins can either hold areas in place for you or give you control points to move parts of the image. A good way to start is to add a few pins to areas you don't want to move. For example, I don't want the bottom of her foot to move since she's touching the ground. So I'll add a pin here. I actually don't want this whole leg to move. So I'll add a point here to the knee and then another point here to the top of her thigh. Then I'll add one to her midsection, one to her hips, another one to the hip, and then also I usually like to add them to the shoulders as well. This will stabilize the image before you start adjusting anything. And you can always add or remove points at any time. These are not permanent. Now add a pin to the area you want to move. Click to add a point to her knee. From here, you might think we would add a pin to the foot and then move the leg. But if we do that, her leg, you can see her leg bends in a very weird and unnatural way. So we don't want to do that. If you hold the Alt or Option key and hover over a pin, it'll turn to scissors and you can just click to remove it. What you actually want to do is go back up to the pin in the knee, click it once, and then hold the Control or Command key, and that will bring up a rotation ring around the pin. Then you can click and drag the mouse to rotate around your pin. So by doing this, you can move the leg slightly without it looking awkward. You can also see that when we did this, everything else stays in place because of the pins we added earlier. Then we can go up and add a pin in her elbow and do the same thing. Hold the Alt or Option key and rotate to move her arm slightly. And maybe we'll put a pin in her neck and rotate her head slightly. Once you've made all your changes and you're happy with what you see, just click the checkbox in the top bar. And that will add Puppet Warp to your smart object. So you can turn this on and off to see the before and after. And you can also double click on it to make more changes if you want. And then just click the checkbox again. Here's another example of how this can be used. You don't only use this feature on people. I've got an image of a USB cable here. I've already done the prep work to save time. So you can see I've already created a smart object of the subject. So we can just add Puppet Warp by going back up to Edit, down to Puppet Warp. All I want to do here is bend it slightly to the right. I'll start by adding my pins for stability. One at the bottom for the base, one up a little bit, and then one up a little bit more for where we're going to rotate it. Then hold the Alt or Option key and bend it. And then you can see that it added a little S here, and I don't really want that. So I'm just going to move the pin itself to get it back straight. And once everything is good, just click the check mark at the top and it's set. Now I'm actually going to duplicate this by pressing Control or Command J. I'm going to flip it by pressing Control or Command T to transform it. And when you do transform, it doesn't show the Puppet Warp feature, but once you hit Enter, it'll apply it again. But I want to rotate this. I want to flip it to the left side. So I'm going to Control or right click inside the transform box and go down to Flip Horizontal. And then I'll press Enter or Return. And you can see I have two of them now. And then I'll create one more by pressing Command or Control J again, moving this one down to the bottom. And this time I'm just going to delete Puppet Warp altogether to get back to our normal image. And just like that, I have 3 cables, and Puppet Warp made that super easy. When using Puppet Warp, there are some things to be careful of and to try and avoid. Not having enough pins can lead to unwanted stretching and bending. Moving too much makes things look a little unrealistic. And warping faces. Faces are very noticeable, so you have to be very, very subtle here. And that's how you use Puppet Warp. It definitely looks complex at first, but once you understand how the pins work, it's a much easier and fun tool to use. I hope that helped, and I'll see you next time.